Hey everyone, welcome to Data Millennials. I am Atul, and in this video we are going to discuss how we can apply or use round function using calculated field in Looker or Google Data Studio. So as you can see here in my table, I have rounded off unit price at 1 decimal point and I have rounded off unit price at 2 decimal points. But if I show you the raw data source, then you can see over here that we have unit price column over here in which we have floating numbers, means that we have decimal points in the unit price. Now if we want to show the unit price as an integer without any decimal point, then we have to use the round function in our Looker dashboard. So in this video we will create this table and then we are going to apply or use the round function as a calculated field in our chart or table from scratch, so that you can get the idea that how you can apply the round function with a calculated field. So before we use this round function, let's understand about this round function a little. So round is a type of arithmetic function in Looker which returns a number to a certain number of decimal places according to the standard rules. And if I'll show you the syntax of this round function, then you can see over here that we have the function round and we have two arguments over here, x and y. So x is a field or expression containing at least one field. Similarly, y is a whole number specifying the number of decimal places that you want in your result set. So now let's go and create this table from scratch using this data so that we can show you how you can use the round function with a calculated field in Looker. So first of all, I'm going to click on this edit button and I'm going to add a new page where we will create this table from scratch. So I'm going to copy this header as well as this header, and I'll put it over here. Let me increase the size of this one. Now, as I have already used this data set in my report previously to show you this table, I do not need to import that data in this report. But if you want to import the new data, you can come over here on add data and then you can import your data from any of the platform using the connectors. Now, if I need to add a table, then I have to come over here on add a chart. I can select any table. So I have selected a table. I'll increase the size of this table. And the moment I create a table, you will see that Looker has by default selected the data set for me. Now if I want to change the data set, I can come over here under the setup section and I can select any data based on my requirement. But for this example, I'm not going to change this data set. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change the dimension over here. In our page 1 we have date and unit price, and then we have decimal points, right? So the same thing I'm going to keep it over here. I'm going to select this table and then I'm going to remove this category from my dimension and I'm going to take date as my first dimension. From metric I'm going to remove this record count and I'm going to take this unit price as metric. Now the moment I add these two columns over here, you can see that you have unit price, right? Now what mostly happens is that if you have a floating number, you will see that you have a floating number over here which is appearing as it is over here till 2 decimal points. Now what if I need to show this unit price with 1 decimal point, or suppose you need to show this unit price with 3 decimal points, then how you can do that? That's what we are going to do with the calculated field. So there are 2 ways to create a calculated field. First is that I can click on add metric, then I can click on create a field. Over here I'm gonna say the name as unit price with 1 decimal point, and then I'm going to give the formula which is round, and then I have to give the x and y argument value. So for me the x argument value is unit price, so I'm going to select unit price. Then after comma I have to give a whole number which will specify the number of decimal places in the result. So I'm gonna give 1 over here, and the moment I'll click on apply, you will see that in background Looker will start calculating it, and you have a new column over here which basically says unit price with 1 decimal point, and you can see over here that we have 1 decimal in this column while we have 2 decimal points in the unit price. Now the next option that I'm going to show you is to create a calculated field from this section, which is data section, you can come over here and you can click on add a field. Then you will see that the first option that they are asking, Looker is asking us the new calculated field name. So I'm going to give unit price with 4 decimal point. I'm just randomly choosing this 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 decimal points. Then I have to give the formula, which is round. And then the first option that I need to give is the unit price, which is my column. Sorry, unit price. And after comma, I have to give the whole number, which will specify the number of decimal places in the result. So I'm going to give 4 over here. And then I'm going to click on save. You will see over here that the calculated field has been saved. And then I can click on finish. You will see that you have a new column in the data section which says unit price with 4 decimal points. I can drag this over here and you will see that you have a new column in your table which says unit price with 4 decimal points. Now the difference between this unit price with 1 decimal point and unit price with 4 decimal points is that this unit price with 1 decimal point is a calculated metric where we have used the round function. You can say it as a calculated field for this table only. But this unit price with 4 decimal point is an actual calculated field with the data. Your raw data will not get changed over here, but when the data is getting refreshed, then Looker will add an additional column for you named as unit price with 4 decimal points, where the formula round will be implemented over there. So this is how basically you can use round function with the calculated field to return the number of certain decimal places in your result set. Happy learning and see you in the next video.